What's up everybody, KingGBL here, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be showcasing a very fun team, and a team that done super well for me in the Open Great League. I ended up going positive with this team and getting a 5-0 with it. Shadow Pidgeot in the lead, Steelix non-Shadow. I don't have a Shadow Steelix, otherwise you might want to consider that. And in the back we have Shadow Annihilate. This team is super fun, and like I said, I went 5-0 with it, I believe my second set. So stay tuned, have a look at this team. I think it could be interesting for some of you. A few things worth noting: if you don't have Shadow Pidgeot, I think normal Pidgeot works just fine. If you're going to use normal Pidgeot, probably use Feather Dance. On a few occasions, I kind of wished I did have Feather Dance. I think you definitely need Gust. Do not be using Wing Attack, it's been heavily nerfed. And having the fast move pressure with Gust, especially on the Shadow, was very, very nice. We've got Shadow Ape. Again, I think you could probably get away with just a normal Annihilate. The reason I like Shadow Ape is because you can kind of run through things a little bit faster. You can sort of farm things down. If you get Hidden Energy with Shadow Ape, you can basically look to one-shot opposing apes, and it's just really, really good. Good into things like Toxapex, you can see here, and this is why I really like Steelix. Steelix absolutely destroys Toxapex. It beats all of the flyers in the meta. You can basically shield through it for Alligator. Steelix was super fun. Of course it struggles with Mudslap a lot, but I thought Steelix was really good. Also, there's a lot of toxic teams out there at the minute. You have your Wigglytuff with your Drifblim in the back. Steelix is ABS strong into those teams, so if you do get a Wigglytuff lead, you know that you have something in the back that can sort of core break that team. And Wigglytuff lead in particular is why I think non-Shadow Pidgeot actually could work for this team. Again, I enjoy the Shadow because of the damage, it's just so oppressive, but I think the non-Shadow Pidgeot would be good for taking alignment on certain things. Anyway guys, let's hop into the battles. Thank you very much for all the support in yesterday's video. I was showcasing my Legend push yesterday, and I see a lot of people are running this team in the Open Great League, so big shout out to you guys, really appreciate it. If you do enjoy this video, please go ahead and drop a like on it, subscribe if you've not yet done so. Actually, do me a quick favor, look at the subscribe button, tell me if it's flashing. If it's flashing, you need to hit it, bro. Hit it right now. Thank you very much. Let's hop on into the battles. So as you can see, we've got the Gastrodon here. Steelix is so bulky that it can kind of, put a lot of damage into this. Look at this, we're going to end up almost taking it out. And we didn't, of course, get new mechanic or anything there. The opponent makes a hard swap into Bibarel, and this is where I love having Ape in the 2-shield. You can just farm through things so quickly. Fantastic lead and jump bluff here. The opponent comes into a Drapion. I make a mistake in this matchup here. So Steelix and Ape both beat Drapion, so make sure you just go into one of those two. You can take a Crunch with Ape, you can take a couple of Aqua Tails with Steelix. It's a very fine matchup. We end up giving up shields, but the good thing about this team is we're ABI strong into Jump Bluff, and they actually come back into Jump Bluff, which is kind of crazy to me. I decided to let this move go. Hopefully it's not the acrobatics. They do just go for an ace here, and we're going to look to overfarm a little bit here. The opponent's definitely ABI weak to Pidgeot, otherwise they would not be coming back into their grass type in the lead. Shield up that move. I decided Steelix time. I'm thinking it's probably Ape in the back. Non-Shadow Steelix does really well into both of the Ape, Shadow and Non-Shadow, because you can look to get off Psychic Fangs. If they let the first one go, you can sometimes farm it the whole way down with Steelix, or of course the second one would look to knock them out. Psychic Fang Steelix is crazy. It actually ends up being a Corsola. Pidgeot and Steelix just run through that team. We get an opposing Pidgeot on the lead. I have noticed the Pidgeot has become a little bit more common. We're in Aerialius. I think if you're using Shadow, 100% use Aerialius. I think it's a lot better. The opponent actually tanks the move, they're using non-Shadow, so I'm expecting this little Feather Dance to come through. Super annoying, but they actually come into an Oranguru. This is not a good answer to Steelix on Crunch, especially. I do recommend using Crunch. There's a lot of Pokemon that you need Crunch for. I think it's just the best moveset. I noticed that Oranguru, for some reason, has been picking up in the meta a lot. They go for Drill Blaze. We're going to be able to live 2 of those probably. I'm going to go straight Crunch. I'm not going to go for Psychic Fangs bait here. It is tempting to go for Psychic Fangs, of course, to try to debuff the opponent's defense, but we actually, I think, get the debuff with the Crunch anyway. We're going to be able to swap out. The opponent aggro pivots into... It's really unfortunate. We both aggro pivot. I end up getting stuck on a Morpeko. However, we still have a full health Ape in the back, we have 2 shields, and we're going to be able to start plowing through this Morpeko. This is one reason why I really like Shadow Ape. Look at this Morpeko, it's getting absolutely deleted off the screen. Goodbye Morpeko. One thing that was annoying me about Prime Ape was like Karate Chops were just not adding up enough on this thing. Shadow Ape with counter just obliterates it. Goodbye. And we're going to look to swap out here if possible, but the Oranguru is super low, the Pidgeot is super low as well. We're going to farm everything down, that's going to be good games. Dragonite lead's quite interesting here. With Shadow Pidgeot, I've got pretty decent IVs. I think it's a 4 or 5 attack with maybe 13 or 14 defense. I'll put the IVs on screen here today. A lot of people were asking for IVs in the comments. I guess I'll start putting them back on the videos again. Basically, my Pidgeot can farm this the whole way down. She'll once farm all the way down. I didn't know that at this point, and I should have got off the ace here. I think I was trying to commit to the extra moves. But the good thing is, Steelix can come in. We're on Thunderfang, of course. This is a much better match into Azu with Thunderfang. We can look to go straight Psychic Fangs. There is an argument to go for like a Heavy Slam or Earthquake to have that nuke potential, but I like having Crunch for things like, for example, Jump Bluff and Dugong. I know of course you can hit them with Heavy Slams, can't really hit the Jump Bluff with the Earthquake, but I just like having that sort of somewhat cheaper move. Also, for some reason, I'm seeing a ton of Orangurus, and you do see some Pokemon that are weak to Crunch, like I've seen a few Cresselias with Steelix as well. So I just think overall Crunch is better. I suppose it really depends on the team. Like, I guess arguably we have two Pokemon that are sort of not great into Wigglytuff, so maybe you do want to have that big move, but in general against Wigglytuff, I think you're just going to be going Psychic Fangs. I liked having Crunch there, but anyway, like I said, Steelix kind of wrecks these bulky waters in the meta. Toxapex here, they go for the brine. We easily survive it, we swap out as the opponent swaps out. We try to get this farm down here. The opponent just about makes it here. Now we just need to hope the Shadow Ape can look to clean this up. We're going to farm this all the way down with Ape. We're going to go straight for the Rage Fist, and that hopefully should be good games here. This will knock out, right? Just about doesn't, and we do live it on 1 HP. Very good games well played there, and a very close game. Pidgeot versus Jumpluff, fantastically. The opponent comes into a Mudboy, and I think I end up deciding to stay in this matchup here. The opponent will probably go for a Scald. I probably should shield this move, to be honest with you, because they're not really going to go for Mud Bomb. I go for the Brave Bird here. I'm not messing around whatsoever. Bang! The opponent shits their pants, goes for the shield. The good thing about this is, I can come in with Annihilate, right? I'm going to respect the Scald. If they go for another Mud Bomb, I'll let it go. Unfortunately, the opponent gets the debuff, which is super annoying. 50% chance now. Is it 30% chance? I actually can't remember what this move is now, to be honest with you. But they come back in with this. I'm on Ice Punch Ape. We can look to do heavy damage into this. Arguably, I could have went for Rage Fist first. I wasn't sure if I was going to make two moves. Rage Fist and then Ice Punch would have done a lot more. I think we're still fine here. We have the Steelix, right? We have the Pidgeot. I decided to bring in the Steelix because the opponent's ahead in energy. I don't want to take a bunch of air laces on the Pidgeot. I still need my Pidgeot for their Mudboy. I'm thinking could it potentially be double Mudboy? The opponent, I think, just about makes a second move here. Steelix is so bulky, we can take this no problem. Bang, 2 energy balls deep. We're still pretty healthy in the yellow. The opponent comes into Dugong here. I'm going to just Psychic Fangs the Oblivion out of this. I'm expecting the opponent to swap out at some point here. I'm going to go for 1 in Crunch. The opponent will be expecting a Psychic Fangs. This is why I like having Crunch here. It's a cheaper move. It's very close in energy cost. They come in, they're probably going to go for an Icy Wind. I'm going to shield it up. I'm going to look to get off another Psychic Fangs, and I'm just going to sort of hope that my Pidgeot's still healthy enough to get rid of this thing. Steelix is getting very low. We're going to start gusting the absolute life out of it, and we do end up getting a Simul KO. That worked out very nicely. Like I said, that's one of the cases where Shadow Pidgeot's a little bit better. I'm just getting that fast move pressure in. This is a horrible lead. We have to swap out. We've got 2 answers to Morpeko though. They come into Jumpluff here, and because we're heading energy, I'm going to take the Ace ride. We don't quite die to the Ace from the Shadow. We're going to like to go for an Ice Punch right away. I'm expecting to lose swap, and I'm expecting the opponent to have an answer to steal in the back. But we actually take it out. The Ice Punch doesn't quite one-shot them, but it gets them really low. We counter them down. We get a massive counter into the Morpeko. In comes Steelix here. I just run to Steelix, bro. I'm so happy this is here. Steelix completely walls the first move. We might have to respect the second move. They go for Psychic Fangs first time. Of course, that definitely makes sense. In this matchup, once again, this is where you'd probably prefer to have something like Breaking Swipe or a Heavy Slam or something. The opponent probably lets this move go. Even though that's resisted, the opponent's defense is dropped, and that does a ton of damage. Now whatever comes in is going to get permanently debuffed. Hello, Starmie. You're going to get met with a Psychic Fangs immediately here. We're going to start just Psychic Fangsing for it, or Gusting for it at this point. These Gusts are going to be destroying it. The opponent concedes the match. Very cool team by the opponent, but unfortunately, we just had big bulky Steelix for them. I enjoyed all 3 Pokemon, but what kind of surprised me was how good Steelix was in the meta. Pidgeot's always fun and always good, but Steelix was just amazing. Whenever I get a Drapion safe swap, I like to come into my Ape, take the first move. As you can see, we can easily take it. So like if it's Ape lead and Drapion swap, I always like to counter swap Ape because we can shield once, farm this all the way down. It's still going to be very difficult for them to farm us down. The opponent's basically forced to take the first move here, which is going to do really heavy damage into them. If we get off a second move, that'll force a shield as well, or force switch. Bang, that does a lot of damage. We get off our second one. The opponent knows we've got a Shadow Pidgeot in the back, so like, it's a very tough shield for them, but they do end up shielding. They come into Wigglytuff, we come into Steelix. Get off my screen. And with that, folks, we do get a 5-0. I think we went 3-2 first set, 5-0 second set. I had some negative battles afterwards. You do get some bad leads and stuff, and like with every team in this game, you're going to get hard walled at times. It is what it is, that's what this game is, and you know, we're getting some pretty bad leads here as I'm starting to proceed through the battles a little bit more. Dunsparsley, the opponent counter swaps my Ape with their Serp. I YOLO the Ice Punch, thinking the opponent probably lets the first one go, but of course, if I land a Rage Fist, I can start farming it down, so it kind of makes sense that they shield that. I think, like, I still have a chance to take swap here, potentially. I'm going to try for it, man, I'm going to try for it. This is going to be close, it just depends if the opponent wants to let it go or not, really. I don't think the opponent's letting this go. But the really good thing about Pidgeot here is, if shield's down, Pidgeot goes to town, we get a slight energy lead, the opponent comes back into Dunsparce. This is a non-stab nerfed Rock Slide, and as you're about to see here, it doesn't knock us out, not even close. We're going to go for a Brave Bird. This is stab. This is a hard-hitting move. This is Shadow Pidgeot. Goodbye, Dunsparce, get off my screen. The opponent can't really bring back in their Serp, so we're probably going to see what the opponent's favorite is. They come into Annihilate, they farm us all the way down. So what I decided to do here is come into my own ape. We're a little bit ahead in energy. We can look to get off a move right away. This will look to basically one-shot them, or very close to one-shot them. I'm going to stay in, force the opponent to take me out. Steelix at this point can look to do a cleanup act. We come in, Thunderfang it all the way down. The opponent's SERP is getting really, really low. We easily live a Frenzy Plant. The opponent does not have that much energy, and I think I BM the opponent by throwing a Psychic Fangs here. Could have easily farmed down, the opponent was basically dry. But good games well played there. The cool thing about this team is, you have a lot of sweeping potential with all 3 Pokemon. Pidgeot's just so oppressive, Steelix has got the debuffs and the Thunderfangs, Ape is very oppressive as well with the boosts. You know, think about it this way, if you were running Feather Dance, right, you're debuffing the attack. If you run the Psychic Fangs, you're debuffing the defense, you get the Crunch debuff sometimes as well. If you're running Ape with Rage Fist, you're running through Pokemon with Rage Fist, so you're boosting your attack, debuffing your opponent's attack, debuffing your opponent's defense. There are a lot of things you can do to kind of switch things in your favour with the debuffs and attack boosts and everything. The opponent says, GG's, I don't have an answer to Steelix, and they concede the match. And I find that to be the case quite often. Steelix is quite an interesting core breaker. It gets destroyed by Diggersby, unfortunately. Here is Diggersby, but we do have Ape for it, thankfully. The opponent will go for Scorching Sands most of the time here. We do love a Scorching Sands, and we generally can shield once farm all the way down from this position. I think I don't want to take another move, so I decide to go for a CMP in the Ice Punch. If you CMP the Ice Punch here, it will knock out at this point. I realise that I can IPS the opponent's Ape. I'm still very healthy, they can't really counter me down from this range. They will get an overfarm, but like they have to shield. They basically have to shield. If I make a second move, it's really tempting to shield here because if I can get Pidgeot and Steelix with shields down, this is where these Pokemon do really, really well. So I'm happy with this. The opponent will get an extra counter or 2. They actually end up letting the move go. They come into this stupid ass thing and Steelix is just going to eat it. This Pokemon is so unfortunate, bro. It has so much potential and I'm actually sort of happy it's not that good. If you think about how good Skarmory was at a certain point, I don't think we need another Skarmory in the meta. Opponent comes Dugong, we come at Ape. This is looking very good so far. We can go for Ice Punch in the Marowak when it comes back. I feel like you should probably go for Rage Fist here at this point. I think I decided to go 4 in Rage Fist. I'm hoping that I can just basically knock it out with 2 more counters, but in this matchup you do sort of need to go Rage Fist a bit sooner. The opponent shields. I'm shielding back. I'm going to keep the alignment. Because I'm thinking I can potentially get off 2 moves on Marowak here. They might try to let the first move go, knowing that I've got a Pidgeot, right? Pidgeot does a lot of damage. I just let it go. They actually do let it go. I go for Rage Fist there, unfortunately, though. The opponent swaps out. I swap into my Pidgeot. Opponent's using Drifloon. I don't think we died at 1 Icy Wind here. It's very, very close, though. Get off the Ace. This was a big mistake by me, by the way. I should have been coming into Steelix on this matchup. It's kind of like a U-swap, I-swap moment. I seen a Ghost type come in. I automatically just switched to my normal without thinking about anything. Of course, Steelix is super, super weak to the Marowak in the front. So, like, yeah, it's kind of bad. The good thing is, I think I've got energy and Ape. I need to basically get out and snipe this with the Rage Fist. We get the 1 and 4 in the Rage Fist. So despite me kind of messing this match up, I think we're still fine here. The Drifloon's super, super low. I don't think they get off a move. One Thunderfang will do it. And in the next match here, we've got another Ape lead. The opponent comes into Dunsparce. Let me see, can we farm this down? I don't think so. We do have to take a move no matter what. And we have to shield a move no matter what. The opponent goes for a Rock Slide. Okay. Well, we can actually take 2 moves now because they went for a Rock Slide. This is perfect for me. I farm all the way down, I get off double Rage Fist. One of these is going to do a lot of damage. The first one the opponent will survive, but it'll basically put them into farm down range for Pidgeot. The second one will look to knock it out. The opponent's going to be forced to shield, and even if they do have a counter to Pidgeot in the back, nothing wants to take a Brave Bird from Pidgeot, doesn't matter what typing it is. I don't think there is anything that double resists flying, is there? Like there's no Steel Electrics in the meta. Anyway, they bring in the fake Skarmory, we bring in Steelix, and that's going to be good games well played once again. So yeah, I left some of these sort of easier battles in towards the end, because I just kind of wanted to show you the destructive power of this team. I had just so much fun using it. I was going to get off stream, but like I kept using this and kept using it, and I just had such a good time using it, so that's why I want to show these battles to you. I go for a Nice Punch here, just to basically force the opponent not to bait me. If you sort of keep farming, they go for Body Slam the first time, and then they go for the Earthquake or Shadow Ball the second time. It's super annoying. You've already seen how much this Ice Punch will do. Does the opponent respect it? They do respect it. They know it's going to do a lot of damage. They're going to be forced to throw here. And again, because I've got 2 answers, and I've seen 1 rollout user, I'm like, okay, it's a roll hole. It's the classic roll hole team. I'm going to bring in Steelix. Steelix does fine into Dunsparce, so we can tank 2 moves. We're going to go Psychic Fangs first time, Crunch second time. I think overall I do prefer non-Shadow Steelix, just because you can take 2 moves off a lot of things like Dunsparce. I think in different teams, Shadow Steelix will be better. Say for example if you're running Steelix with 2 answers to Dunsparce, I think that'll be better. But because this is like a soft answer to Dunsparce in our team, Ape of course being the hard answer, Pidgeot being weak to it, I actually really do like having the non-Shadow here. Anyway, they come into Jumpluff, we're going to come into Pidgeot, we're going to start gusting the oblivion out of it. They go for Acrobatics. I thought that, for some reason I thought the opponent might be going for that. We farm this all the way down with the defense drop. The opponent quits the match, and we have another Dragonite lead. So here's what I've noticed about Dragonite lead sometimes. Sometimes they have like a Gastrodon in the back, So I think the best way to play Dragonite Lead is just to farm it all the way down. Let's see if I farm this all the way down. I commit to it this time. This means you're coming out with a Brave Bird for whatever comes in. I come into Cresselia. This is amazing for me. Steelix is so good into Cresselia. If that one Brave Bird does a lot of damage, and like for the cost of one shield, right? Pidgeot's taken out literally the entire first Pokemon and 60% of the second Pokemon. We can eat grass knots like it's absolutely nothing here. I think at this point I just commit to the farm down, right? Buttons start swapping out, so they must be kind of weak to it in the back. Grass knot again. You commit to Toxapex, buddy, it's over. As soon as you've seen Steelix, you should have been top lefting because this is just over. Dragonite Leads often come with Toxapex as well. So like, just shield the first move, farm it down with Pidgeot, get an alignment, and you're basically fine. As you can see, we debuff the opponent's defense. We're like, okay. Ape kind of destroys Toxapex too, so we're not going to mess around here. Thanks everybody, hope you all enjoyed the battles today. If you did, please drop a like in the video, it very much helps out the videos, helps the videos get out there. Subscribe to the channel, it is absolutely free. I stream right here on YouTube almost every day, I upload every so often. I'm pretty inconsistent with uploads, but we definitely do a lot of streams here. And we have a Discord community in the description down below. If you want to join some like-minded people who are interested in Pokemon Go, feel free to join that as well. Last but not least, and most importantly, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you all next time.